All right, shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the bishops, a great millstone that rule well, that teach well, while learning the truth 100% according to the Bible. And I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000 men, prophets, servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the Akwaf, which are the sisters that are sincere, and your children. Shalom. And in today's video, as you brothers and sisters can see, is going to go into basically, the food shortages that are happening, the food supply that's being contaminated. And we know that all of these things are going to lead up to the famine, which the Lord talks about through various precepts throughout the Bible, and the Apocrypha, that there will be famines in the last days. And we're starting to see the beginning of those famines coming. So I'm going to get into this video and we're going to see what this guy is talking about. And, I'm going to get a few precepts, Lord's will, to bag up what he's saying. And Lord's will, and it can be edifying. But I'm going to start off by reading the title. It said, what is now happening to America's, right, which is Babylon the Great, spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt's farm and food supply, right? And that goes into the famine, because we know the word famine. I'm going to look it up for a lot of people that could be new coming to the video. They might not understand what a famine is, so I'm going to go to that word famine so we can look it up and get a better understanding of the word, right? Famine means an extreme scarcity of food, right? So it's basically a deprivation of food or a food shortage, and the Lord said that in the last days, a lot of people will perish due to hunger and famines. So we can already see that these things are beginning to take place in the earth, and they will come, So yeah, we're going to get into this video and listen to what he's basically saying. And, before I start this video, I want to also say, under the 1976 Copyright Act, fair use, fair use. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is only for educational purposes only. So with that being said, fair use. Let's get into this video.
Let me show you this. This is kind of amazing. Largest ever. U.S. honeybee die-off has destroyed 1.6 million colonies.
Wow. You see that, brothers and sisters? I'm going to read it. It says, largest ever U.S. honeybee die-off has destroyed 1.6 million colonies, right? And it says beekeepers often experience some seasonal losses, but this past winter, more than half of all U.S. honeybee colonies died off, potentially the largest loss in U.S. history. So we're seeing all type of things, like I said, that have never happened before in history. We're having the most severe storms happening in history in America. Now you're having the most loss of the bees. All of these things are the signs of the times, man. Furthermore, proving that we're getting closer to this place, America, being destroyed, man. So I'm gonna go to just a little commentary on basically how important bees are to they're important to the agricultural level of this society. They're important for vegetables growing and honey, and it's a lot of things that bees brings into the food that we eat. Bees and other different types of animals and bugs contribute a lot to the produce and the things in which you consume, so I'm gonna go to how important these bees are. Just furthermore proving to you, brothers and sisters, with the loss of these bees is going to result in a lot of famine, a lot of vegetables not growing, and a lot of other different things happening due to the death of these bees, man. Right? So bear with me while I look up this. Important are bees. All right. Bear with me. All right. All right. So this says, I'm going to read it. This is an AI overview. It said bees are incredibly important to agriculture, right? And I'm going to go into agriculture. We know what agriculture is, right? Look it up. The word agriculture is the science or practice of farming, right? And that's what the guy's talking about in the video that's being affected due to the tragic loss of all these bees, the farming, man, right? And when you think of farming, you think of, like I said, vegetables, fruits, and all of those different types of things that people need to basically eat and, to survive and things of that nature, right? It says including cultivation of the soil, for the growing of crops, Salakia, and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products. All right. That just goes to show you how important these bees are, man. So I'm going to get back into it. It says bees are incredibly important to agriculture, right? And we just seen what I read in the definition of the word agriculture, basically how it's important for us humans to receive meat, foods, and all type of other things. That's just how the Lord has designed this earth, man. That, something as small as a bee is so important and detriment to our society, right? And it says bees are incredibly important to agriculture as they are vital pollinators, contributing significantly to crop production and food security, right? And it said bees pollinate a wide variety of crops, and their work is estimated to add billions of dollars to the value of agricultural output. So you see, it's saying billions of dollars into the foods and things of that nature. So what do you think is going to happen if you have in the U.S. billions of these bees dying off, man? And it's by no mistake that these bees are dying at this time, because this is the Lord doing all these things, man. Ultimately, to bring in that famine that's about to come real soon to this place, America. So I'm gonna go to another little thing about. Let me look it up real quick. Bear with me, brothers. If bees, bear with me, Salakia. If what will to agriculture, right? And it says, all right, I'm gonna read this. It said, if a lot of bees die, which is what we're seeing happening, right? Guess what? This is what's going to result in a lot of death of bees. This was what's going to happen to the agriculture or the food, right? It said it would face a major crisis, right? Going into that famine that I said, because there will be a famine in these days that we're coming into close in America, Babylon the Great. There will be a scarcity of food. It said with the significant decline in the production of many fruits, right? So with these bees dying off, is going to affect fruits. It's going to affect vegetables. It's going to affect nuts and seeds that rely on bee pollination, leading to potential food shortages, higher prices, and a less diverse diet, right? So that's pretty much what it just said right there. Further they go, and I didn't even, Lord's will, I'm gonna get a few precepts, but that just was Google saying, that this thing is basically going to lead to a famine, the death of all these bees, and we know that Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Matter of fact, let me go and get that, just a scripture real quick. We go to St. Matthew 24, and I'm gonna go to verse 7, right? And it says in the KJV, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, right? Famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing all of these things happening now. And that famine, best believe, is going to pick up, man. And ultimately the famine is what the Lord uses as a mechanism to judge. So ultimately, when this place America gets judged, which is we're seeing happening now with all the storms and things of that nature that is taking place, but this place is going to continue to be judged through these famines, man. So, I'm going to go to another precept, basically furthermore proving that the Lord uses all these things as things to judge, And this is the judgment for the people of America, that the Lord is going to bring these famines of food and water and things of that nature that these people won't be able to provide for themselves. Everything that these people took for granted in society, walking in pride, all of this stuff is about to be single-handedly stripped away by Yahweh Shem Yahushua to judge this place, right? It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Verse 29, fire and hail and famine, right? Famine and death, all these was created for vengeance. So that's furthermore proving to you, brothers and sisters, that when these food shortages start to happen, that's a judgment. That's a spirit created for vengeance that the Lord is allowing to come upon this earth, man, due to the disobedience and the wickedness of these people, especially you 2/3 out there. You Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, 2/3 of the Lord's people that won't repent, that won't take heed to this word, that's sinning and doing all matters of wickedness, man. That's why this famine of food is about to happen. You know, it's about to be a food shortage, man, very soon. So we're gonna get back into this video, right?
Beekeepers often experience some seasonal losses, but this past winter, more than half of all U.S. bee colonies have died off. This was from a few days ago, 3 days ago. And the thing is, it's actually 80%. We're going to get into that actually in this video, and how important bees are to our produce. You have no
facts, and we know that's basically what I just said. You know how important I looked up a few. You brothers and sisters heard it. I basically looked up a few, tabs or whatnot, just proving how important bees are to our day-to-day lives, how important they are to our food, our resources, and things of that nature. You know, something so small as a bee is very important to our way of life, man. You know, and with millions of them, billions of them dying, he said 80% of them have died off the colonies in America, man. So just think of in the next few weeks or few months or so how this thing is going to affect this country, man. You know, so I'm going to go to another precept, right? I'm going to go to Second Edges 15 and 49. And all of these goes into those plagues that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to send upon this place, America, right? Due to the wickedness of these people, man. You know, this is Second Edges 15 and 49. It said, I, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, will send plagues, right? And when you go into plagues, everything that you see happening in America are a form of plagues. All of these storms that are happening, all of these floods, earthquakes, all of those things are what you would consider plagues. The stock market collapsing, going down more and more, the economic decline of this place, all of these things are the plagues that the Lord is bringing upon this place, man. Right? And it said, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, right? Famine, scarcity of food, you not having food and a lot of resources. And that's why you're seeing a lot of people panic buying now. You know, I did a video, I believe, earlier where you got a lot of these Americans out here panic buying, you know, going to stores, you know, trying to get all the food they can get and things of that nature. Because trust me, a food shortage is coming, man. You know, it says sword and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death, right? So as I've read in Ecclesiastes 39 and 29, that famine is the tool that the Lord uses to judge people for their sins, right? That's what we're seeing happen. These famines that are going to come is going to be used as a mechanism to judge these people here in America, Babylon the Great, for their wickedness. You 2/3 and you heathens are going to suffer for these food shortages that are coming soon, man. But we know that the Lord said that he's going to protect his people in these times. You know, the men of the Lord, the elect, Lord's will we be at that hopeful number, and the sincere women and their children are not going to have to worry about these food shortages, because the Lord said that in these times to come, when there will be a shortage of food, that he's basically going to prepare for those men and women that are sincere. Right. So I'm going to go to a precept to prove that. You know, I believe that's Isaiah 13. Isaiah 13. I could be mistaken. Bear with me. Yeah, it was Isaiah 65, Salakia. Isaiah, yeah, it was verse 13. That's what I was thinking about. Isaiah 65 and 13, furthermore proven, this in the KJV, furthermore proven that the Lord is going to provide for those that are his, that trust in him, that believe in him, that have kept the faith in these times that we're about to come into, because there are going to be food shortages, you know. And there is going to be some type of civil uproar to where people are going to be looting stores and things of that nature are going to happen. So there will be a scarcity of food in America, Babylon the Great, very soon. You know, so I'm going to get this precept. It said, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, right? Meaning the men and women that are, you know, basically trusting in the Lord, man, that are repenting day in, day out, turning to the Lord, trusting in him for all their needs and wants. The Lord said his servants are going to eat, right? But ye shall be hungry, meaning you 2/3 and you unbelieving people out there, man. Y'all are going to be suffering in these times we're about to come into, through these famines, through these pestilences, through all of these things that the Lord is going to bring upon this place, America, to judge this place. You people are going to perish, you know. It said, behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty, right? Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And you people are going to be ashamed because guess what? You're going to know, as it says in Ezekiel 33 and 33. I'm going to get that, right? I'm going to get that and come back. Bear with me. This is why you people are going to be ashamed, right? Ezekiel 33, right? And this is the reason you men and women out there, you 2/3 of you heathens, are going to be ashamed, right? Especially you 2/3 of the Lord's people. It said, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, right? These famines, all of these things that the men of the Lord have been telling you about, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. That's why a lot of you people you 2/3 out there going to be ashamed, because you're going to remember everything that the men of the Lord have told you about these events coming, and that you didn't take heed of them. You know, you thought it was games. You thought it was funny. You thought it would never happen. You thought it was a joke. You thought it was, oh, the men out there, they're crazy. Talking about America going to collapse. It's going to be a famine. It ain't going to be no food. You know, y'all thought all of that was just something to make mockery out of. But when these things actually take place, right? And they will, as it said in Habakkuk 2 and 3, you know, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, roughly paraphrasing it. But we know that these things will take place. And when they do, guess what? You people that didn't believe, that didn't take heed to the warnings, you're going to be ashamed, right? It said, but ye shall be ashamed. Verse 14, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Yeah. So you people out there, man, as you unbelievers, you 2/3, you scoffers, and all of you different types of people, you know the Lord is about to allow you people to suffer very soon, man. That's what's coming to you people. Suffering, mourning, miseries, you know, bad times, you know, depression, fear, anxiety, you know, distress, turmoil, anguish, panic, chaos. That's what's coming to you unbelievers and you heathens, man. You know, and this is the reason why these things are happening. I'm going to get this scripture. One of my favorites, 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries, right? And that word miseries goes into, you know, basically all of the things I just named, you know, uncomfortableness, miseries, chaos, you know, anguish, fear, anxiety. All of these things are what you people are going to be a part of in these times we coming into, right? And this is the reason why shall be done to them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride, man. So you people's pride, you know, not hearkening unto this word of the Lord, not believing what the men, the prophets on the highways and hedges have been telling you people, you know, starting with the men of Great Millstone and the men on down, the affiliate brothers teaching the same doctrine, which are the only people that's teaching the correct doctrine. The rest of these people out here, they're not teaching the true doctrine of the Lord. So, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of you people have heard the men of Great Millstone teaching these doctrines, the brothers telling you to repent, and, you know, these things are coming, and you people have scoffed at it. You people didn't believe it. You tooted your nose up at it. You said, oh, man, I don't need to do all that. That ain't going to never come. I could worry about my life and this, that, and the third, right? So guess what? These famines and all of these different type of pestilences and evils that the Lord is having to come upon this place, America, you people are going to get caught in the midst of it, right? And then, as I've read in Ezekiel 33 and 33, then you people going to know that a prophet have been among you. You're going to know that, oh, man, we should have listened to those men out there wearing those garments who we thought was crazy. You know, y'all going to wish y'all did, man. Y'all going to wish y'all listened, you know. But then again, it's going to be too late for a lot of you, right? So I'm going to get back to, let me get back to the video, Salakia. Going to get back to the video. But yeah, famine is coming, man. And the signs are there. It's showing itself.
Right? So you have that huge factor. And you also have all these bizarre stories of farms disappearing. Farms on edge, countryside near towns and cities disappearing fast. This was from the last March 31st. More than 1,700 farms have vanished from England's urban fringes since 2010, new report warns. So it's not just America, but also England.
Yep. And we know that the Lord said in 2nd Ezra 14 and 17 that as the world be wicked through age, the much more shall evils, meaning bad times, increase upon them that dwell therein. That talks about the people all around the world. especially here in America, but around the world as well. So you're going to have people in other parts of the world having famines and things of that nature coming into their areas too. It's not going to just happen in America, though we know majority of the judgment is going to come to America, but other places are going to get hit by these same bad times, these same evils, these same pestilences, these same famines, these same earthquakes, and all of these different types of things the Lord have given us as the signs. All of these things are going to come to all these different countries, but especially here in America, right? So I'm going to get the Habakkuk 2 and 3 because I did mention it a bit earlier. So I'm going to go and read it. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3 in the KJV. It said, for the vision, right? And the vision are the prophecies, right? Famines, earthquakes, death, uproars of the people, civil unrest. All of these things are coming to America, Babylon the Great, man. It said, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And we're seeing that these prophecies are not tarrying. The food shortage is coming, man. America is basically about to be done away with, man. The Lord is economically destroying this place one by one, from the agricultural with the bees passing. All of those things are the Lord's doing, man, because this place is about to be set ablaze, man. Before those nuclear missiles hit, it's going to be all hell and chaos going on in this place, man. And that's what's coming. So, Lord's will, that was everything, Until the next time, I'm going to say, Shalom.